Welcome back. It's time to turn an eye on politics now, and the Reverend Jesse Jackson's controversial remarks earlier in the week. He may have whispered the comments about Barack Obama, but what he said was heard loud and clear. And now it's all about damage control.
I accept responsibility for all of my actions.
It wasn't the first time Jesse Jackson has put his foot in his mouth. This time it was Fox News. He was talking to a fellow guest and didn't know the microphone was on.
Say, Barack, been talking down to black people on this faith-based
Jackson, who once called New York Hymietown, admits his Obama comments were hurtful. Still, he's fully behind the Illinois senator.
Really embarrassed, and that's why I quickly responded by giving my expression of regret and apology. And the good news was Barack responded very quickly because of our long-standing relationship.
Obama has accepted Jackson's apology, but according to some, the matter may not be dropped.
What Jackson said went directly for the family jewels. You don't apologize after doing such.
Some say it's a generational thing. Longtime civil rights leaders pitted against the new kid on the block.
If he is successful with the nomination, it will in effect say that there is a new way of doing things, and the civil rights movement, for all intents and purposes, is dead. And I don't believe that Jackson and others who've given their life for this purpose is going to allow it to be killed by an 18-month campaign by Obama.
Well, the Jackson episode hurt Obama.
It's not his first time that he said something outrageous. It won't be the last. And I don't feel the apology was worthy of his words.
It was uncalled for, but I don't think it will hurt Obama at all.
You'll have people thinking totally different, and they're going to look at it in a negative way.
Not in my eyes. I don't see why it should.
Possibly the harshest criticism came from Jackson's son, Congressman Jesse Jackson, Jr. He called the comments divisive and demeaning, saying, "I'm deeply outraged and disappointed in Reverend Jackson's reckless statements." Jesse Jackson, Jr. has served as Obama's national co-chair for 18 months. Pastor James David Manning, who you just saw in my report, is here to talk more about these remarks. Pastor Manning, welcome to Eye on New York. I guess my first question to you is, was the apology enough?
Oh, absolutely not. I think that the apology was not necessarily a part of what Jackson had in mind when he made the statement. Jackson wanted to be able to get a message out to America that he does not support Obama and that Obama is destroying all the work of the civil rights leaders over the last 50 years. So the apology was probably for the press, but not for Obama.
Well, I guess the question that comes to mind is this: is there beneath the surface of this campaign, I don't want to use the word resentment, but maybe it is the right word, simmering resentment on the part of longtime civil rights activists who feel they've been toiling in this vineyard for very many decades?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, if you look at what is taking place at present, Obama is really crushing and defeating all of the civil rights efforts. And if you look at what Jackson is trying to say, he's saying, no, we want the civil rights efforts to be a part of your campaign.
So are you feeling that, I mean, is it a feeling, and I hope I'm not misinterpreting you, that Obama is running too white a campaign and he's not dealing enough with the issues of black civil rights?
Well, I think that what Obama is doing is he has stolen the Rainbow Coalition from Jackson. I mean, because he's put together a coalition of people that really represent the rainbow idea that Jackson had. He has stolen it, and he's effectively working it. So that's probably why Jackson is resentful. Not jealous, but resentful.
But do you think that there are other civil rights leaders, not just Jesse Jackson, who resent it as well because they've spent so many decades?
All across America. All civil rights leaders, John Conyers, Charles Rangel, Maxine Waters, I mean, all across America. I mean, they're seething underneath the surface that Obama is, well, he's undermining all of their efforts. All across America, this is happening.
Is this a generational thing? Is this just like, the old guard versus the new kid on the block, or does it go a lot deeper than that?
Well, if you look at what Jackson's son said, who's a part of the new generation, and look at what Jackson is doing, and you look at what Obama has said when he made his famous Philadelphia speech that was lauded as being so great. Actually, there's a separation now how blacks should approach their political ideologies. And Obama is saying that the civil rights movement, and Dr. Jeremiah Wright, is from the old school. And Jackson is saying, no, we're still relevant and we need to be recognized as such. So yeah, there is a division.
Is there going to be a backlash?
Absolutely. I believe, and this is my own strategy of the process now that Jackson has made his statement, I think the other thing that's very important is why did Jackson make this statement at this time? Because he's been feeling this way for quite some time. But I believe that Obama is going to begin to lose a percentage of the African American vote over the next 2 2 months.
Lose
Greatly.
the vote?
Oh, absolutely.
They're gonna
Not all
vote
of
for-
it.
But they're going to vote for a Republican?
No, I think what you're going to find is a lot of African American seniors are going to stay home.
Really?
Oh, absolutely. Jackson, what Obama has done, he has alienated Jackson and Dr. Wright, and these are two very important men in the African American community. And I think Wright has been not talked about recently.
And will that trickle down to the public, to the black voters who are going to say?
Not the young voters, not the younger voters, but the older senior members and those who served in the civil rights movement are going to begin to look at Jackson. He's not irrelevant to them. Too many jobs have been created by Jackson, too much money, billions of dollars have been poured into the African American community, and a number of blacks owe their lives to Jackson, and they're not going to abdicate their responsibility to him just because of Obama. Not only would support him.
And so is there a feeling that Obama doesn't represent the goals of the old civil rights movement?
Well, no, he doesn't, and he's trying to sidestep the civil rights movement. In fact,
Why?
has effectively done, mainly because he doesn't understand the black movement. He is an elitist, as he has been labeled. He really doesn't understand, and so therefore, his efforts are probably much different from what Jackson would approach it, how Jackson would approach it.
Pastor Manning, I am so sorry we're out of time, but thank you for being with us. And when we come back, we're going to lighten things up just a bit. Restaurant Week is coming to the Big Apple, and it's your chance to check out some of New York's finest eateries at a discount. Stay with us.